which is really delightful. So if you are going to create a heart bed, you are grabbing the thicker block, which is the 4-inch one. You are taking your bolster. The upper part of the bolster is creating a nice slanted as it rests on the block. Yeah, there you go. Good. And then some of you put a little bit of support in front of the bolster. I'll show that in a moment. You're going to bring the back of the hips really close to the bolster, chin towards your chest. You're going to roll down. And if you feel any strain in your lower back, you can press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, and put the chip bone block underneath the pelvis. Okay, another option that might be nice is having a ball, the inflated one, or a block in between the thighs. It helps you just to stay connected to the lower body as we focus on the upper body. Okay, arms are going to be out to the side, palms up, just feeling a release through the chest. So a really nice time to pause as you breathe out the mouth if you choose. Feeling the heart open. We're going to go through the arm series in succession. So if you need to pause at any time, then you just take some time to just rest when you need. And you're going to reach the arms up. The palms are going to touch in the air. Fingers point to the ceiling. You're going to bend your elbows so the forearms become parallel over top of your body, the torso, the head. And then just let some space come in between the palm of the hands. You just have the thumb, the pad of the thumb, index, middle ring, pinky, gently leaning into each other. So this is a hand mudra called Hakini. It's really good for integration. It's really good for memory. You're going to soften your shoulders. Now your back of your ribs are going to want to lift away from the bolster or the floor if you're on the floor. So I want you to keep the ribs gathering in, lowering down, and in contact with your back of your surface here. So the arms are going to extend overhead. The palms of the hands will come together. The inner elbows will gather. And the fingers are going to point to the wall behind you. So if you're on the bolster, you're in a little bit of an angle. And then as you bring your hands back to heart center, the palm of the hands opens, elbows widen. And as you exhale, I tend to bring the exhalation in because it helps gather the ribs and lower them down as the palms of the hands touch, arms extend. This is really good for the diaphragm, opening the ribs. And you're flowing back and forth. As the hands come back over heart, the elbows widen. Yeah, there you go. Good. Good. Nice, Helena. I wonder, Helena, if having any support in between your thighs feels good for you. Does that help at all? Yeah, I think so. It would just bring a little bit of, you can do the strap too. Okay, good. So this one is really nice for helping the nervous system release. It's the upper part of the psoas muscle, which is part of our hip flexor that we're releasing, as well as our diaphragm muscle, and as well as some of the abdomen. Okay, you're going to pause here. And then you're going to reach your arms up. So fingers point towards the ceiling. The palm of the hand is open. So you're going back into Hakini Mudra with just the pads of all the fingers and the thumb gently leaning into each other, little bend of the elbow. If you have that ball or that block in between the thighs, gently squeezing it as the arms chop down towards the legs. And then the fingers point up to the ceiling and they go a little bit overhead, but without the shoulder blades or the ribs coming off your bolster or the floor. Then your arms are coming up and then back down to the legs. So you're chopping wood here. This is releasing and hydrating all the muscles and fascia through the thoracic spine. This is our shoulder blades, all of our ribs. We have 12 of them, 12 vertebrae. It's freeing the whole thoracic body. Yeah, see if you can keep both shoulder blades equally weighted as you do this one. Notice if you need to bend the elbows a little bit more. Equal pressure of right pads of the fingers into left, loading the muscles and the fascia a little bit as we do this. Just doing a couple more here. You should feel that slide and glide that we explored at the very start. The next time you come to the fingers pointing up to the ceiling, you're going to pause. You're going to separate the hands, turn the palms of the hands so they face the legs. Bend the elbows, wiggle the fingers. Let the arms just flow in space as if they're kind of moving in a body of water. Just let some fluidity come in. Okay, then the pad of the thumb is going to lean into the pad of the index in both fingers' hands. Okay, the middle ring and pinky of the other part of the fingers that are just floating, they're going to lean into each other a little bit as you wiggle them. And try to keep the wrists really fluid here. Sometimes we lock the wrist in extension or flexion. I want you to keep them fluid. Little bend to the elbow. The index and the thumbs come towards one another in both hands. And then we're going to open the arms to the side. Now we're not going to touch the floor for those of us that are in heart bed. Now as you open up, gently reach through the middle ring and pinky finger as you feel that tug across the front of the chest, little lean of index and thumb, and then the arms come back up. So you're opening the wings of your arms, the index and the thumb myofascially through muscles and fascia connect to the front of your chest. Now you have a choice here. The head can stay in center. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Those of you that wish, when you open the arms, you might turn your head gently to the side. And as the arms come back together, head into center. Then the arms open, the head turns to the other side. And back to center with the arm. Feeling fluid here. Try to keep the back ribs gently pressing into the floor. Remember, you're only working 60 or 70% effort. If you have any dizziness, moving the head is not advised. If you can keep that expansion when you open, if you're thinking of the hands and the arms opening, maybe you feel that expansion starting through the heart and widening through the heart and the shoulder blades, and then opening up the arms from the chest through the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. And then pause, come back, release the hands, wiggle them, wiggle the arms. You're going to turn the palms of the hands towards one another and then turn them to face the wall behind you. So it's a little gathering of your inner elbows. Now your thumb is going to touch your middle finger. If you want to release, if you've got a lot of tension up through your arm, up through your shoulders, through your neck, into your jaw. It also helps this hand gesture for ringing in the ears, tinnitus. If you're feeling lightheaded, then you're going to move to thumb touching ring finger, which is going to nourish the whole myofascial line into the shoulder blades. Okay, release and wiggle the other fingers, elbows heavy as they bend. And then you're opening the arms once again out to the side. And the pinky side of the hands are coming towards one another. Head can choose to turn, come back into center as the arms do, and then turn to the other side. So I know when I move, I have to really watch because one shoulder blade always wants to lift off the support. Sometimes I come in and just lift up my toes and find that transverse arch. So you might even find that. That might help. The more inner core support you bring in, the more that the shoulders can have ease. Yeah. A couple more. Good. And then once you're complete, just release the arms down. Notice how you feel. Some of you might just want to stay in heart bed and release that block, that ball in between the inner thighs. You might walk the soles of your feet together and just open the legs into a butterfly. Okay, so that's an option. You might stay here. If that's a lot of strain for you, you can lengthen the legs, you can shake them out, you can come off, okay, by rolling off to the side. Okay, you can go into a different position, whatever you choose. It might be on the floor. I'm just going to come up to a seated. We spent a little bit longer just going through the arm position, so we're just going to be here for a couple minutes. Take a few breaths out the mouth. Notice how you feel. Feel the heaviness. Remember when you came down to the floor. This series is so subtle yet so powerful in how it hydrates the fascia, releases adhesions, and brings that slide and glide back. Because when we work with the fascia and we release any adhesions, it frees the nervous system to become more regulated. I'm going to read you a piece called The Heart Knows. The heart whispers as the ears listen. The heart moves along waves of grief. The heart fires through transformation. The heart knows the way. The heart whispers as the ears listen. The heart moves along waves of grief. The heart fires through transformation. The heart knows the way. The heart knows the way. Take a minute or so of silence. And take a moment just to feel your breath. However it's entering, however it's leaving. Maybe it's in and out of the nose, maybe it's in the nose and out the mouth. And then feel your body. You might, if you're in butterfly still, bring the inner thighs together, lengthen the legs. You might do a little wiggling movement through the body, a stretch, a yawn, just to come back. I've put on an extra layer. You're going to roll over onto the side when you're ready, and we're going to come and sit together just to end the practice. You choose your leg position that works for you. So whatever resonates for you, as the arms come down beside you, and just let the palms face forward. And we'll exhale out the mouth. And as we root down, we'll inhale, reaching the arms up. As the palms touch, receive as you draw a line in front of your head, your heart, your belly. You can do that 2 more times. Being open to receive the energy coming in from the universe. And as the 3rd time, we're just going to bring our hands up and pause at heart. Feel the thumbs resting around the sternum, the palms of the hands equally leaning. Soften the chest. Find that inner lift. Relax the shoulders. Notice your whole body. Notice your whole body. Notice your whole body. If the eyes have been closed, let them open. The head was bowed, lifting it. Thank you for sharing your practice. Thank you for being online.